questions 21 through 25 on the 2011 grade 8 AMC 8. Students guess that Norb's age is either 24 to 49. Norb says, at least half of you guessed too low. 2 of you are off by 1, and my age is a prime number. How old is Norb? At least half of you guessed too low. So that means of these 10, half, these guys, all guessed too low. So that means that his age is obviously greater than 36. So we can cross out those two. And we can also cross out E since his age is a prime number and 48 is not prime. So we got 37 and 43. And then he says that 2 of you are off by 1. Okay. Well, if his age was 43, this person was off by 1, but this person is off by 2. So the only choice is 37. If his age is 37, this person was indeed off by 1, and this person was off by 1. So 37 is the only age that matches everything in the question. So number 21, the answer is C. What is the tens digit of 7 to the power of 2001? So this is one of those questions that you have to look for a pattern. And hopefully we don't need to do too many to look for a pattern. I'll just do the first 8 or 9 should be sufficient. 7 to the 7, 7 to the 8, 7 to the 9. Okay. So what are all these? First of all, the only thing about this question that makes it challenging is that you're not allowed to use a calculator on these exams, right? On the American math exams. So you would have to do this manually. But that's not so bad. And some of you could actually see this pattern even before 7 to the power of 9. I'll just write it all out and then we'll discuss it. Now let's talk about the tens digit in each of these numbers. Well, in the first number, there is no tens digit, right? Because it's just 7. So I guess the tens digit is 0. In the second number, it's 4. Here it's 4. Here it's 0. Here it's 0. Here it's 4, 4, 0, and 0. So as you can see, and some of you could do this a little bit more quicker than I did, but that's okay. It's an alternating pattern, 4, 4, 0, 0, 4, 4, 0, 0 for the tens digit. So our task is to figure out the tens digit of 7 to the power of 2011. So we can just use that pattern in any way you'd like. What I will do is just look at 7 to the power of 4, 7 to the power of 8, all the powers that are multiples of 4. They all have a tens digit of 0. So the first thing is 2011 a multiple of 4? And the answer is no, it's not. But 7 to the power of 2008 is a multiple of 4. So that will have a tens digit of 0. And then what you do is just follow this pattern. 2009, 7 to the power of 2010, and 2011. So the next one will have a 0 as a tens digit. The next one after that will have a 4. And the next one after that will have a 4. So 7 to the power of 2011 will have a tens digit of 4, following this pattern. So number 22, the answer is D. How many 4-digit positive integers have 4 different digits where the leading digit is not 0 and the integer is a multiple of 5 and 5 is the largest digit? So we have a 4-digit number, and the only way it can be a multiple of 5 is if the last digit is either a 5 or a 0. So I've got a few scenarios here. The first is when that last digit is a 5, and the other scenario is when the last digit is a 0. So now let's talk about the other ones. Let's first talk about this guy. 5 is the largest digit. So that means the only numbers I can use are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? 5 is the largest digit, so I can't use 6, 7, 8, 9. Now the 5 has already been used up, and they're all different. so I have to use different numbers. This first number cannot be a 0, because otherwise if you put the 0 there, it wouldn't be a 4-digit number. So this cannot be a 0, but it can be either 1, 2, 3, or 4. So I've got 4 different choices for that number. For the second number, it can be any of the other numbers. So for example, if the first number I chose was 1, the second number can be any of these 4. Okay, so I got 4 choices for that one. And if I chose, let's say, 2 for the second, I've got 3 choices for that third number. And this is fixed as 1. So that has to be all multiplied to give you the total number of choices. So I got 4 times 4 times 3, which is 48. So I've got 48 numbers of this form. Now we get to this scenario where the last digit is 0. Let's talk about this. Again, we can only use these numbers because the largest digit has to be 5. Now, what we'll do is, since the largest digit is 5, 5 has to be part of the number. So the 5 can either go here, or here, or here. So we got 3 different scenarios. The first is when the 5 is there. The second scenario is the 0 is here, but the 5 is here. And the third and final scenario is the 0 is here and the 5 is here. So for each of these, we'll discuss how many choices. This is one choice, this is one choice, since those are fixed. Now we got to talk about this guy right here. We've already chosen the 0 and the 5. So for this, we've got 4 choices remaining. So we'll put a 4 there. And then for this number, we've got three of the remaining numbers to choose from. So there we go. So you multiply all these, and you get 12. Now let's talk about this one here. This is fixed as 1 and 1. We got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The 0 and the 5 have already been chosen. For this, we can choose any of the remaining 4 numbers, and then the remaining 3 after that. So again, this becomes 12. And in a very similar way for this last one, it's the same thing. The 5 and the 0 are chosen, so we got 4 choices for that one, and 3 remaining choices for that one. And these are both fixed. So we got 12. So the total is 48 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12, and that looks like a total of 48 plus 36, which is 84. So number 23, the answer is D. In how many ways can 10,001 be written as the sum of 2 primes? 10,001, we want it as the sum of 2 primes. Well, let's start with the smallest prime, which is 2. Remember, 1 is not prime. 2 plus something has to equal that, so obviously that other number is 9999. Now, is this the sum of 2 primes? Well, this is a prime, sure, but this is obviously not a prime, right? Because it's divisible by 3. Okay, no problem. Let's keep going. 10,001, let's look at the next prime number, which is 3. If that's 3, then the other number must be 9998. Is this the sum of 2 primes? No, because 9998 is obviously divisible by 2, since it's an even number. It's even. Okay, I think one more and you'll be able to see the pattern here. If the next prime, which is 5, is used, my number will be 9996. Again, this number is divisible by 2. It's even. And since every prime number is odd, other than 2, every time you put 10,001 with some prime number, the next number will be even. And even numbers are divisible by 2, the only exception being 2 itself. So this is not possible. There's no way to write 10,001 as the sum of 2 primes. So the number of ways you can do that is 0. So the answer for 24 is A. A circle with radius 1 is inscribed in a square and circumscribed about another square as shown. What fraction is closest to the ratio of the circle's shaded area to the shaded area between the two squares? Let's label some of these regions. This region in here I'll call A. This region right here, this little cap. And in a very similar way, that's A, and that's A. And then this region here I'll call B. It's this kind of corner section. And that's B, and that's B. So what they are asking us is to find the following ratio. 4A over 4A plus 4B. What fraction is closest to the ratio of the circle's shaded area to the shaded area between the two squares? So this is what they want. Now you can divide top and bottom by 4 and you just get left with A over A plus B. So my task now, of course, is to find the area of A, the area of B, and then plug them back into this equation and figure out which one of these answer choices that number is closest to. So A, how do I figure that out? Well, I'll just draw a couple lines to hopefully help. Draw a line from there to there, and a line top to bottom like this. And then let's label a few things here. They tell me the radius is 1, so this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, and they're all 1s all the way around, right? Because this is a square. So you get the point. They're all 1s. So now the area of A, how do we figure that out? Well, you would figure it out by taking a quarter of that circle and subtracting from it that triangle. If you do that, you'll get that cap. So it's pi r squared divided by 4, a quarter of that circle, minus the area of that triangle, which is 1/2 base times height, which is just 1 times 1. And the radius is 1, so this just becomes pi 1 squared over 4 minus 1/2. So that's A. Now we have to figure out B. And what is B? Well, B is this little corner region. How do you figure out B? Well, you would take that square and subtract from it this quarter circle. So B would be that square, which is essentially a 1 by 1 square, and subtract from it a quarter circle, which is pi r squared divided by 4. 1 times 1 is just 1, and then r is 1, so that just becomes pi over 4. There you go. I've got A, I got B, and now I can figure out this A over A plus B. So it's going to be pi over 4 minus 1/2, and then A plus B is pi over 4 minus 1/2, plus B, which is 1 minus pi over 4. So this becomes pi over 4 minus 1/2, and here this pi over 4 cancels with this, and you get 1 minus 1/2, which is 1/2. So I can invert and multiply that 1/2 as 2 over 1. And finally, this just becomes the following. Pi over 2 minus 1. And pi is 3.14, so if you divide that by 2, it's approximately 1.57, and then minus 1. So that's going to be approximately 0.57. And 0.57 is closest in terms of the answer choices to A for number 25.